gamers all around the world. I've done a video for round 1, tournaments of Golden League, round 2, round 3, kind of going around with what happened and, you know, what happened in the games, what happened in the tournaments, what I thought would happen, and yada yada. So I figured might as well do one for the group stage of the Golden League. As you guys know, from the 3 rounds, I advanced to second, and I was placed in a group with Viper, Wham, and the Muslim, and then first group, that was the second group. First group was Marine Lord, Vortex, Luciferon, and Puppy Paw. So, interesting things happened, didn't they? Huh? They did. Actually, they did. So, your boy... Yeah. Killed it. So, group 1, Marine Lord went through swiftly with a little 4-0 over Puppy Paw. Then he beat Luciferon 4-1 and then 4-0 Vortex. What a chat. Just pumping through the group without a care in the world. And then we had, yesterday, there was a match between Luciferon and Puppy Paw, and basically whoever won that was going to advance to the playoffs. And Puppy Paw, coming in as 8th seed, okay, coming through. Puppy Paw beating, well, you know, 0-4, and then beat Vortex and beat Luciferon, so beat both Spanish brothers to advance to the playoffs. Unfortunately for Puppy Paw, okay, he had a great run, guys. Unfortunately, he has hit a brick wall, and he will be playing against me in the semifinals. I mean, listen. It was a good run. Impressive wins, right? This is gonna look really bad if I lose, by the way. So, Puppy, don't beat me, please. Please don't beat me. I'm gonna look like a fool. But yeah, all memes aside, obviously Puppy, you know, coming through, rinsing the Spanish brothers, which, by the way, they're both very good, especially Luciferon recently. I played Luciferon, I think, in round 3, and they were like really, really hard games. Like, I was super impressed with how well he was playing. So, I think Puppy Paw, I think it's safe to say he was definitely the underdog in the group. But he kind of rinsed both brothers and advanced through, so I will be meeting him in the semifinals. It's a best of 7. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I hope I win, especially after me memeing just now. Otherwise, it's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be one of those. And on the other side, we have Marine Lord versus Viper. So the way my group played out is I played the Muslim in round 1. I won 4-1. Then I played Wham and I won 4-2. And I was down 2-1 actually. Wham I thought played really, really well. And like, I played Wham before. I knew he was a good player, but he, like, the games he won, like especially this one, it was like, I thought I was in a good position, then I just got kind of wrecked. And then in the, basically after like these 2 matches, these 2 like weekend rounds, whatever you want to call them, me and Viper advanced through to the playoffs. So the only thing that was left to do is do our game, which basically was played for who is going to play Marine Lord and who is going to play Puppy Paw. So basically, the winner of the group would end up playing against second place from Group A, which was Puppy Paw, and the loser will play against Marine Lord. And I played yesterday against Viper. I beat him 4-1, and you know, we had some good games. I played super aggressive, and it worked out great because he, I think, like, I will maybe go about these games on my stream. You know, for you guys on YouTube in another video, but maybe for you guys on Twitch today, maybe I'll go through some of the games versus Viper. But I think he was expected, because you know, people know that I love to go late game, so I think he was kind of setting up himself to go always late game, and he always went like double or even triple TC, and I all in first 3 games, or all in. I just did like a 1 base push without second TC, without trying to achieve. You know, late game, I ended the games in Feudal or Castle, and yeah, it went really well, and managed to win. So with that win, like I said, I will be playing versus Puppy Paw, and then Viper is playing against Marine Lord. So basically the way it worked out is really funny. And I haven't realized this until yesterday before I was supposed to play against Viper. Basically the way it worked out is it doesn't matter which one of these 4 players, but in order to, like me, Puppy Paw, Viper, and Marine Lord, doesn't matter which one of the 4 players, the way that groups were set up from my last match yesterday against Viper into the playoffs, all 4 of us have to beat 2 out of the 3 players. So whoever, how do I phrase this? Whichever one of these 4 players wants to win the tournament, they have to beat 2 out of the 3 players of me, Viper, and Marine Lord. So what I mean by that, right, is I beat Viper, and now Marine Lord needs to beat Viper and me or Puppy Paw, right? So it doesn't matter which way it works out. You have to, like, obviously beat a very, very strong opponent in order to advance, no matter what your group stage was like. So I went into it like, okay, I have to play Viper. If I lose, I see it like a bonus life, right? Like, I beat like one of the top favorites. Obviously, Puppy Paw is really good, but the probably favorites for the tournament are 3 of us. But then, you know, Lucifer and Vortex were also favorites in the round, so monk ass in before Puppy Paw rinses us all. So I looked at it as like, okay, well, if I lose against Viper, I'll get some more intel on him, and I'm not out of the tournament. Like, I'm through the groups, which was my goal, like to just advance the groups, get to the semifinals. If I win, I get to play against Puppy Paw, and then one of the Viper and Marine Lord will get eliminated. So that's the way I looked at it, but obviously I wanted to win, because, I mean, who likes losing, right? So it's going to be pretty interesting. I think, you know, Puppy Paw is in the chat. I think Puppy Paw is going to prepare something sneaky, like a sneaky snake. But I'm going to counter. Obviously, I'm good against snakes, as we see here. So that's not going to work, hopefully. But I think it's going to be interesting either way. Like, we have the 3, I would say, expected players. Expected, as in, like, people thought would advance, me, Viper, and Marine Lord, and then Puppy Paw. So I think whoever wins is a you know, a great story, a great achievement, obviously. Like, if Puppy Paw wins the tournament, that'd be fucking crazy. Like, him coming out of nowhere, quote unquote. I think Puppy's in the chat. You can correct me, but I don't think you haven't played any other game as a pro, right? So if he wins, that'd be pretty hype for the community and the game as well, I think. Because he's kind of like the dark horse. If he wins, he played Raid Shadow Legends, he says, okay. If he wins, it's kind of like, it's good for the community, I think. Because, like, you know, I think it's just a cool story, right? If I win, then it's like winning 2 tournaments in a row. If Marine Lord wins, then it's like, you know, choke free. He goes into it, finally gets his first premier S-tier tournament. And then if Viper wins, you know, AOE4 better than StarCraft 2 kind of thing, right? So I think each winner has a story. We're not to that point where, for example, some of you may know from StarCraft, some of you may not, but we've reached a point in StarCraft 2 at one point where it was like, oh, Cyril Rainer finals. Okay, let's see who's going to win this time. And it's like a resident sleeper in a way, right? It's like, okay, Cyril won again, you know, and like no one's hyped. But I think this top 4 is pretty hype. And personally, whenever someone that's not supposed to make it into top 4 or finals is always good for the game. Because it's more exciting, right? That's personally my opinion. Like, obviously you don't want every tournament to be a huge upset, but I do think it's really good for the game that we have new players, especially Puppy Paw and Wham, who recently have been performing like really, really well and are playing like better and better. I think that's just great for the game, and you know, I hope to see more of that. Because not only for them, but then someone else sees that, like maybe they're ranked 30, they're ranked 40, and they're like, oh, I knew Puppy Paw and Wham like a few months ago we played together, we were same rank, and now they're pumping, that could be me. So then they start to practice, and you know, it keeps going. The suspense is there, the storyline is there, and even if you know they lose, it's like obviously they're getting better and better. So then in next tournament they're even more serious contenders. So yeah, Core says that's me. Yeah, there you go. Core looks at Puppy Boy and Wham, he's like, God damn, that could be me. But I'm only Mongol tower rushing, so fuck. But yeah, either way, I think playoffs is going to be super fun. They are played on 28th of May. Both semifinals are played. I'm not actually sure if I play first or second. And then on 29th, there's a third place match first, and then the finals. Now, one cool thing about this is it top two? Wait, top two from this tournament get invited into the Red Bull tournament, the $300,000 tournament. So, basically this is the situation. If Viper beats Marine Lord, he is qualified for the Red Bull tournament automatically, right? If Marine Lord beats Viper, he is qualified because Marine Lord is also not qualified. So that match is not only who's going to get into the finals, but who's going to qualify for the Red Bull tournament, which is pretty good, pretty big. And then on the other side, or sorry, if Papi Paw wins, he's qualified. But if I win, this is where things get interesting. If I win, because I'm qualified already, whoever would be in the finals with me qualifies. But then, let's say Marine Lord wins and I win. Marine Lord would get invited to Red Bull Wololo tournament. And then Viper and Papi Paw would play for third, fourth place, which there's a difference of 4K, pretty much, 3,750. But not only that, but the winner of that third, fourth place match would also get invited to the Red Bull Wololo tournament. So if I go through, basically, there's a lot more on the line for third, fourth place, and I think that actually creates a lot of suspense for the third, fourth place. I've said this to Papi Paw before, but Papi Paw, it's more hype for the tournament if you lose. Because then third, fourth place is poggers. You know what I mean? Just saying. Think about that. But yeah, I think either way, like whichever result you take, he says, sorry, I'm going to win. Okay, Sag. That's Papi Paw is killing the game, actually. But yeah, I think whichever way it goes, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think the matches are hopefully going to be really good. And hopefully they're going to be entertaining. Obviously, the rules are the same as we've had so far. It's best of 7, no bans. You pick the home maps, and then you go from then on. Blind picks for civs, no repeats. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, no matter how the tournament goes for me, whether I lose or win, which, by the way, just got to say it again, guys, with the whole Papi Paw thing earlier, I was joking. I am taking every precaution to make sure I win. I am not making fun of my opponent. I am not underestimating my opponent. I'm not a moron. Anyway. And yeah, whether I win or lose against Papi Paw, or even if I advance, if I win or lose in the finals, or for third place match, whatever, I'll make another video covering the games, kind of going through what happened, if I fell apart, if I, you know, played well, and yada yada. And if you guys enjoy or enjoyed the video that I made for N4C, how I did my picks and stuff, maybe I'll make a similar video. But maybe I won't. I don't know. I'll have to think about it, because I have basically like a paint spreadsheet for each player. I'll get one for you, Puppy, as well. Don't worry about it. And I don't know if I should show it, because I feel like it doesn't show much, but it kind of shows my thought process. So, and at the same time, like, the next big tournament is in 5 months, like, or 4 months. So, like, a lot of things can change by then. So, we'll see. We will see. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much for watching.